Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. Today's video is going to be all about pricing your items. I'm here to help anyone who struggle with pricing, underprices themselves, or just get stressed out about pricing. All of these used to apply to me. I just opened an online boutique called Ebb and Flow this year. Now I have a good strategy. I'm here to share it with you guys and give you some advice and tips to get your pricing strategy on point. If this video is helpful for you, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up, leave me a comment, and hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notification so you know when I post. You guys have been growing my channel like crazy. Last week, I think I got, I want to say 80 subscribers. It's thanks to you guys sharing my posts, liking them, subscribing, turning on your bell notifications, leaving the first comment. Whatever you do has helped my channel. So thank you guys so much. It is much appreciated. Let's get right into these pricing strategies, and let me fix my strap. I feel it, y'all. Anyway, whenever you're planning any pricing, the first thing you absolutely have to do is know your target market. Learn your market. Learn your market for any reason. Learning your market is going to help you with your marketing, your merchandising, how you should price your products, how you should talk to them, when you should email them or text them. Learning your target market is going to help you across the board. A lot of people hear that and they think it just means you need to know what age they are, which is true, but also I wouldn't focus as much on age. And I'm not going to go into that on this video or it's going to get too long. We'll have to talk about target markets in a different video. Learning your target market means you learn everything about them. You know where they grocery shop. You know what kind of jobs they probably work. You know if they have kids or not. You know if they have pets or not. You know if they live in an apartment or they purchased a home. You know if they're married or single. You know if they're college educated. The list goes on. Again, that's going to be a different video. You need to learn your target market through and through to learn how you should price to them. To give you an idea of how I actually do this, say you have a customer who is a single mom, they have 2 kids, they are a nurse. They're probably bringing in like, I don't know how much nurses make, like 40 to 50, probably more than that, but just for the sake of this example, $40,000 to $50,000 a year. She grocery shops at Winn-Dixie. If you're not from the South, Winn-Dixie is probably similar to Kroger. And she shops at Walmart. She gets her clothes from Old Navy, and she goes to Target every so often, but not too often. Would they pay $80 for a t-shirt? No. In that same sense, think about where they shop that sells the type of products or services that you're selling. Do they shop at Ulta for their beauty products? Are they going to Sephora or Neiman Marcus? Do they shop at more drugstore brands like Walgreens, Target, CVS? Think about things like that. That's another way to help. When you think about it that way, put yourself in the customer's shoes, think of things in their perspective. That's going to help you a lot when you're pricing or planning a pricing strategy. And it's something that takes time to learn. Don't get stressed out if you don't know the answer to all those questions right now. When you are planning a pricing strategy, learning more about your target customer is going to help you along the way. You don't have to have it perfect to price your items, because I don't have mine perfect. Like, I just really started implementing an actual strategy. It just takes time, learning your customer, learning who's purchasing your items. If you notice my nail broke off, it sure did. And that's it. That's what you have to do. You have to just allow yourself to go through the process, because it's a process. Number 2, look at where the customer is shopping for products or services that you sell. In my last point, I mentioned, do they shop at Ulta, Sephora, CVS? People shop where they want to shop. You probably have a favorite restaurant you go to, and the food they sell is probably sold somewhere else, but you like that restaurant, whether it be food's better or the prices are better or the atmosphere is better. I've touched on this in another video. It's my video where I talk about the mistakes I've made in business. If you haven't watched that, make sure you check it out. One thing I used to do all the time is try to compete with big corporations with my pricing. Whenever I look at Fashion Nova, they might have similar items as me or the same items, and they price them way lower. And I used to try to compete with them and be like, okay, they charge $14 for these jeans. These jeans cost me $14 to get, but I'm gonna charge $14. Do you see? It wasn't literally that, but basically underpricing yourself to try to match what they're doing. When the reality is, those are big corporations. They're purchasing thousands and thousands of units of one product, so they're able to price them that low. Like Fashion Nova does 40% off, 50% off all the time. But if you look from the perspective of, they probably paid like $1 for a t-shirt, they're able to sell it for 50% off of whatever price. Like if they price it at $17.99 and it's 50% off of that, they're still either way making a profit. Focus more so on, again, your customer and why they shop at certain places and what makes them special, and make your brand special. Once you know your target market, we're gonna get more into the math portion. And as y'all know, math makes me gag. I found a way to make it work for me, and it's gonna work for you too. I'm gonna use a few terms. The first one is cost. The cost is how much it actually costs you as the owner to get the product or to complete the service. That's including shipping, that's including packaging, that's including everything. Profit is what is remaining after the cost is removed from the total selling price. Markup is gonna be how much higher you're selling the item for based on its cost. Profit margin is gonna be the percentage of the total selling price that's actual profit. If you're anything like me, I can give y'all a formula, but you need like an actual thing that's gonna show you exactly what you're working with. I'm gonna link it below. There's a calculator that I use called Omni Calculator. It's a web application, so you can watch along with this video and kind of play with the numbers. Omni Calculator has all kinds of calculators, especially retail focused ones. So they have a profit margin calculator, they have a markdown calculator, they have a markup calculator. So you just plug in your numbers, it'll give you whatever you want. Omni Calculator is the name of it. The link will be in the description. I don't want this video to get too long-winded, so I'm just gonna give you guys some guidelines that I use that might be helpful for you in your business. For markup, my minimum, and I mean absolute minimum, like I'm not gonna go below that, is at least 101%. And sometimes I'll go to 100%. I try to stay above 100 because when you do 100%, you're basically getting back the cost of the item, and that's it. It doesn't really give me much room for discounts. It doesn't give me much room to really grow the business. And if you are someone who's not trying to scale, that's perfectly fine. 100% is fine. It's gonna allow you to get back the cost of the item plus whatever the cost of the item was on top of it, and just kind of circulate that way. I would say go at least 101% as your baseline, and then go up from there. I do have some products that I price at a 200% markup, because when I do, they're not too high where my customer wouldn't pay, and it just gives me a nice profit. Say you have an item that cost you $5. Remember, the cost is everything that went into getting that product or service. At 100% markup, it's gonna be $10. So you're gonna get back the $5 you paid plus another $5 on top of that. For profit margin, I try to stay at least above a 50%. 50% profit margin is gonna be 100% markup. If you have an item that costs you $5, a 50% margin is gonna give you a $10 selling price, and that's again gonna be the same concept. So I try to stay above that in order to actually be able to scale my business and grow it and get what I paid for plus a little bit more. I don't go crazy because I know my price range for my customers. Give yourself some wiggle room. So you don't have to stay in one margin and be like, okay, I have a 55% profit margin, so all my products have to be at that, because it's just not gonna work. Say I'm offering this tank top, which is not ebb and flow, and I got it for like 90 cents and I want to sell it for a 200% markup. I ain't about to go into the numbers, but whatever price that is, if it's too high for something like this, I know what my customers would pay. Like I know they wouldn't pay that price for that item. Think about it in that way, give yourself a range. So I have a range that I set up as far as a minimum, and then the max can go wherever, because obviously you wanna have a higher margin, you wanna have higher markups, but you do wanna start at a certain point so it makes it easier for you to actually price. And you wanna have some sort of pricing theme. So some stores will do like flat price. So they'll have items that are $10, $11, $12. And then you have some stores that go with the 99-cent strategy. So they'll have an item be $10.99, $11.99. So you can have your customer can have an idea of what kind of prices you have. You don't wanna have like some items be $11.99, some items be $12.74, some items be $13.50. Have some kind of theme that you stick to. So play around with Omni Calculator. I don't want to get too long-winded. See what works best for you. As you're playing with the numbers, I advise you to make a spreadsheet where you just list all of your products that you have, all the costs that went into that product, and price per item, how much you're wanting to sell it for, how much your markup is for each product, how much your margin is for each product, and go from there and just play around with the numbers that way. That's what I took time to do, and that's how you're gonna really see what you're working with, see how much your inventory is valued. If you have only $500 worth of inventory, don't set a profit goal of like $30,000, because as you can see, you won't have the products to be able to get to that goal. Lay everything out basically is my advice. Point number 3, remember you're selling a brand, not a price. Don't train your customers to shop with you only when you have a discount. Don't train your customers to think that you have to price your items crazy low to get them to shop. Price your items where they are meant to be priced and where they should be priced, and go from there. We're gonna go into story time. My first car, she was a 2007 white Volkswagen Jetta. I named her Leilani, and I loved that car, but she was breaking down on me. I had to get her repaired all the time. I was scared to drive because I was scared to break down. My ultimate dream car is a Barbie Jeep, white Jeep Wrangler Sahara Unlimited, black interior, hard top. I've thought about this a little bit. That's just what I want. I don't care how much it costs. That's what I want. So about 2 years ago, Leilani was just breaking down on me, and I just knew it was time. Like, it was time for me to get a safe vehicle that I could actually rely on. I knew I wanted that Jeep Wrangler, like bad. I didn't care. Went to the Jeep dealership, and if you never bought a car, if you don't have any credit history showing that you've ever purchased a vehicle, you're not gonna really be able to get like higher priced vehicles. And that's something I learned on that day, and I was devastated. I didn't want to settle. Like, I wanted a Jeep, I wanted the brands, I didn't care. And my dad was like, oh, well, maybe you could try like a Toyota or something like that, but I wasn't even hearing it. I wanted a Jeep. I ended up getting a Jeep Compass Puff Daddy, which I love. Point blank, people are paying for a brand. People pay for what they want. So whenever you are selling items or selling a service, don't jump straight into this is how much it costs. Jump into the benefit. Why would your customer want to buy this? What makes it special? Then go into the price. I don't know, like, it doesn't make me want to buy just because of something can be low price. I don't always want to buy it. Like, are you at the Dollar Tree every day? Everything's $1. Are you there buying everything they have? No. You want the item, and it just so happens to cost $1. So think about it that way. Like, you're not running a discount mart unless you are. You're selling a brand. So sell your brand before you sell a price. That's gonna bring me into my next point, which is don't lower your prices because someone messages you and says your prices are too high. I said what I said. I used to do that. Don't make my same mistake. I did it so often, and it all of this comes back to your target customer. If you do have someone saying that, it could be an issue where they just aren't your target customer, and that's it. Price strategically. Don't lower your prices just based on one person, unless it is a situation where you didn't really get to know your price ranges for your target customer or your target market, and you are overpriced, then, you know, reevaluate. But if it's a situation where you did put a lot of thought into how you price your items and made sure they matched your market, keep them. Keep them. Do not underprice yourself. Price what you're worth. Price strategically. Price based on your profit goals, your margins, your markups, your target customer, your everything. Price based on that. And if you are pricing based on that and you put thought into it, you'll succeed. And that brings me into my next point. Plan your discounts. Don't just discount something again because someone said something to you. Plan your max discount. How much is the absolute max that you can afford to price your item at? Run sales strategically, run promotions strategically. It's super helpful if you start implementing a 30, 60, 90-day rule. I got that from Jan Charté. She's also a super helpful YouTuber. Say I have an item come in on the 1st of the month. If I have inventory left over 30 days later, I would mark it down below the max discount I planned for that item. If my max discount is 50% for the item, I would mark it down 30 days later to like 15% off. And then if I still have inventory 60 days later, mark it down even lower than that. And then 90 days later, if I still have inventory, I would probably put it in a clearance section and have it marked down to the absolute max discount. Implement that, plan that on that spreadsheet you made with all your inventory. List those dates. If you have an item come in, list the date that it came into your store, and list out 30 days from that date, 60 days from that date, and 90 days from that date, and how much each discount's gonna be. It's all about just being organized, really. So that's the tea, you guys. I hope this was helpful for you. If it was helpful for you, make sure you give me a big thumbs up, leave me a comment, hit that subscribe button so you know when I post. Share with a friend that might also find this helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. I wish you much success in your businesses. I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.